All right, live broadcast to app or not to app. That is the question. Simple rules on the app or not to app show. Put your app idea in the comments and I will tell you if it is worth pursuing, if you can make money off of it, if it's a good idea. A couple of things to get you started. A lot of ideas I hear are pie in the sky ideas. What I mean by that is people think they're going to get 10 million users and they are going to get bought by Facebook. That's not really a good idea or a good strategy. So what you should probably focus on is if you have a business or you're in a certain line of work and you think an app can help. What's up, Tony? Hey, Marta. And you think an app can help that business, put it up in the comments. So had a good response last week. And a lot of people put stuff in the comments after the fact, after the live show. So I'm just going to start firing through some of those right now. And let's see what we got. All right. Amin the Machine says, app to detect your golf balls on the golf course. I was saying and telling him, what's up, Amin? Thanks for posting that, by the way. I was telling him my dad has an idea for a golf ball locator. It's a mobile app. You'd have to use the compass. So you take the compass on your phone, and then there's like if your ball went into the trees over there, you point the phone kind of over there, and you like mark it, and the compass would tell you all along. And the funny thing is, he actually made a prototype with a compass because he's so old school, and it works. So you could probably totally do that. I think probably Amin, what you're talking about is you're probably more talking about like an app that with like a tracking device in a golf ball. So like that place Top Pro. Top Pro is a golf driving range where you hit the ball, and if it goes into a certain area, you get a point. So they have some sort of tracking device on it. And I think it's just a matter of time before golf balls start coming out with those. So let's hook up. I like that idea. I don't know how you can make money. Well, actually, you can make money off of it, I guess. Either got to sell golf balls or you got to convince people to have to pay like a subscription or a monthly service to it, which is doable. So not a bad idea. All right, if you're just joining, if you have an idea for an app, throw it into the comments, and I'll tell you if it's worth it or not worth it, if it's good or not. A little bit about me, Jeremy Callahan. I am the app man. I have developed apps for some of the biggest companies in the world, all the way down to startups. I have a bunch of apps that I created for myself that are like hobby apps. I wouldn't call them hobby apps because they actually make money. ShoeSwipe, you might know me from ShoeSwipe. I created ShoeSwipe, which is Tinder for shoe shopping. Pretty cool. All right, the second app that somebody bounced off me last week in the comments was Richard Hatfield. What's up, Richard? How are you, buddy? Quit posting shit about the Portland Trailblazers. Just kidding, man. They got some good guards. Okay, so Richard, a pickup basketball community app that is chat and group based, similar to Discord for video games, but with a check-in ad. So even if you aren't in a group, see how many people are at the court before gearing up to head out. I like this. It's a common problem. Back in my basketball playing days, when I used to play pickup basketball, I can feel you. Some days you go out there and there's 40 people out there and you can't get a game, and other days there is 4 people out there and they suck. So I could dig this one. I think this one would work for golf also. Tennis. It's probably like, instead of just basketball, you could probably expand it out into mini sports. As far as monetization goes, it's going to be a little tough to monetize that because it's going to be more just like community. People are going to expect to use it for free. So I don't see a lot of ways you could potentially make money out of that. You could make money. I mean, you could maybe do ads, but I mean, you got to do so many ads and have so many people to even make a dent that I don't think ads are worth it. Perhaps a better way would be like an add-on service. So you give a free app that's about, basketball, pickup games, golf pickup games, and then you sell something on top of it. So you might have a monetization strategy behind it. And I don't know what that is. Maybe it's tickets to the games. Could be anything, could be headphones, whatever. I mean, because you're going to build up a base. So you'll have a big base of people, and then based on that, you could market them other products. But before you start building an app, before you invest in an app like that, you want to make sure you actually have a monetization strategy. As far as like, we know we have basketball, sneakers. Sneakers would be a good one because you have like a lot of sneakerheads and people that are into sneakers. So potentially you could do that as well. All right, anybody out there in the comments, thanks for joining. If you have an idea for a mobile app, put it in the comments and I will tell you if it's a good one or not. Chad Miltner, what's up, dude? How many years? How many years, dude? How many years? 25? Yeah, I'm dating myself now, but it's been a while. Thanks for joining. All right, third app, Maria Alston. Hey, Maria, how are you? Thank you for putting an idea in the comments. And it's been a while since I've seen you as well, since the good old Inatrex days. All right. It would be awesome if I could scan barcodes of beauty, household, etc. products, and the app would look for them across many retailers and group them by price and availability for purchase. This is a freaking good idea, a really good idea. So good you shouldn't have put it in the comments. I'm kidding. No, this is really good. And by the way, fun fact, did you know in the latest version of iPhone that your camera is a QR code reader, barcode scanner? A lot of people don't know that. Not many people are scanning QR codes, but that'd be pretty cool, right? You're sitting around the house, you run out of laundry detergent, you scan it, and it goes out and it finds, that'd be awesome. You know, you could potentially look on Jet, you could look on Amazon, and then I would say even auto order it, just like a one-click order, like when the products come up, just say order it, and it goes for best price. So huge investment though, as far as scraping the internet, right? Because you're basically going to have to go to like the biggest sites and scrape their products, and then you'd have to have a matching mechanism, as well. Pretty sure I can talk. Yeah, so you'd have to have the matching mechanism. So, you know, when a product gets scanned, we read it, we say it's Downy laundry detergent, and then we'd have to have just a database of products. Like, actually, it wouldn't be that hard. It's more or less just a matter of, you know, that getting all that data in. So a lot of data imports. So those are tricky to build. But once you have them, then daily you just import them. I don't know, let's charge a nickel a transaction on that one. You know, let's charge 25 cents a transaction on that one. So we give you the best price and then take a penny, take 2 pennies on the transaction. That's a good idea. That is a money-making idea. I think it's a huge investment. And I know I kicked off the top of the show by saying pie in the sky ideas, as far as like having millions and millions of users that a company would buy. But that's a pretty solid one right there. I mean, that solves a problem, and a lot of people would use it. And assuming you did it right, marketed it correctly, and did everything, you could definitely get purchased for a lot of money. That's what happened with Jet. Jet.com got bought by Walmart about a year ago, a little more than a year ago. All right, no one's putting anything in the comments. Come on, I know you guys have app ideas out there. I know it. Don't worry, your app idea is not so good that somebody's going to steal it here. We're just talking apps and how to get them to market, how to get money, how to make money with apps, how to monetize your business. Does your business need more leads? Does your business need to reduce costs, manpower? Does your business need to, I don't know, grow? If you do, mobile apps are a good avenue to do it. All right. Last one that was in the comments from last week was from my friend Eric Baldridge from Chico, California. Hey, all you peeps out there from Chico, California. Eric Baldridge. First of all, Eric, about this whole fantasy thing, you take it way too serious. You had a good week. I'll give you that. You had a great week, actually. I had a good week, and you still beat me. But I hate fantasy football. But I do like my friends and spending time with my friends. So that's why I do it. Which, by the way, speaking of fantasy football and a mobile app for fantasy football, you know, like we have this app, and in order to talk smack to one another in it's CBS Sports or whatever, and you can set your team, you can do all the things you need to do for fantasy football. But when it comes to talking smack, all you can do is email the group. And it sucks. And the reason it sucks, the most important reason that app sucks, is because you can't send a photo. You can't send a meme. Dude, memes are very important when you are talking smack to somebody. To send a meme of like, somebody falling on their face, like an animated GIF where like somebody falls on their face, whatever. How can you not have in your mobile app, CBS Sports Line or whatever you're called, ESPN, a mechanism that I can send a meme to my friends? Just saying, personal problem. So if you want to create an app for that, I don't know how you make money on that either, but it's necessary. All right. Eric Baldridge sent me a note last week. I need an app that tells me what dirt bike trails are in my area, public or private, if they're open, maps, and maybe GPS tracking of my ride. Also, a feature to video my ride from my phone and post it on each trail. This is a perfect utility app. So when I talk about utility apps, it's any app that actually serves some sort of utility to help you in your life. Most business apps are utility apps. You're gonna rent a car, it hurts, utility app. Buy an airplane ticket, utility app, right? So this is a good one, Eric. I like it. I think there's a couple of main items with it that you're gonna have to get worked out. Number one is you got to get the trails and figure out like data, right? You got to figure out where all these trails are, public, private, when they're open, when they're not. And then as far as a GPS tracker, not a problem at all. And so actually the GPS tracker would be very helpful in mapping the trails. So what you could potentially do when you start is you could make an app, and basically all it does is track your rides via GPS. And then the more, maybe you, all your friends, you give it out to kind of riders in the community. And as it tracks their rides, it's actually mapping the trails as well. That would be super helpful. And then you could just like double back and go in and like say if they're open, public, private, whatever they are, who you have to contact. That'd be pretty good. That's a pretty good app. As far as making money, I don't know. Sounds like something I would expect to be free if I was using it, right? But the GPS, but what you could do is you could do add-ons, right? So in-app purchases for everybody out there. In-app purchases, basically we give you an app for free, you use it, and then at some point you want to buy more, right? So in this case, you could just say, you could just give the trail map for free. If somebody wanted the GPS tracking, you maybe charge them, I don't know, $4 a month or whatever it is. The important thing with that one though that you got to factor in is when you are doing GPS tracking, right, wherever you are, every time you move, you send data back and forth up the internet, up to the cloud and back, up to the cloud and back. And every time you do that, you're using data. So what ends up happening is it cuts into your profits. So you got to factor that in. You got to say, well, if we had, 100,000 users and those users were sending, I don't know, 500 megabytes of data, we'll just say a gigabyte of data, then, do the math on that. And then you can, when you actually pay for hosting, they'll say like, this is how much it costs. So you just do some basic equations and you can figure out, you can go, well, if we have 100,000 users and they're using the app this much and there's this much data coming out, then that's going to cost us, $7,000 a month just in data going back and forth. That's not even, you didn't even build the app yet. You didn't even factor that cost in, just the data going back and forth. So that's an important thing that you always have to factor in. It doesn't matter. We're making a music app right now for golf, and it's a golf training aid. You listen to music, you hit the ball further, you hit the ball straighter. Simple as that. But people are playing music, right? And so when the music is streaming back and forth, that's a lot of data going back and forth. So you got to figure like, hey, if we're charging $25 a month for that app and the average user is, I don't know, listening for 2 hours a day, we don't make money. So you know what I mean? Like you got to do the math on that. So if you need help doing such math, I suck at math, by the way. I suck badly at math, but I can do that math because I know how to do it. It's easy. It's a little spreadsheet model. How much data is going back and forth? So cost of the app to build the app, and then secondly, the amount of data going back and forth. Always factor in the amount of data going back and forth. All right, some people out there I love. Craig Fernese. What's up, dude? What's up? Old school. Billy. You're back, dude. Thanks for joining. You're like my best fan right now. I love you, buddy. All right, anybody got any ideas out there for mobile apps, app development? A little quiet tonight. That's all the ideas I got right now as far as what people put in. If you do have an idea and I didn't get to it, or if you have an idea and you don't want to put it in the comments, you don't want it to be public, private message me on Facebook. You can look me up at jeremycallahan.com as well. I'm all over the internet. I'm easy to find. My phone number is easy. Who is going to call me this week? Are you going to call me? Nobody calls anymore. Nobody calls. Like, in general, they'll text you. They'll email you. They'll send you messages on Facebook, but no one will call you. I have 3 people in my life that call me. What's up, Joanna? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. I love your art, by the way. You are doing a fabulous job, and I love the cat stuff. Actually, I like those tarot cards you did as well. Those are pretty rad, but I always dug the cats. So keep that up. It's good stuff. And yeah, so if you have an idea, get in touch with me. Put it in the comments. If you have an idea, we can put it on the show next week and talk about it. I had somebody, I think her name is Crystal. She had sent me a private message last week. Let me just check her name. Crystal Lee Miller. She had sent me a text last week, or an IM, and it's a common problem that people have. Shoot, I lost my train of thought there. I saw a note. It's a common problem. Like, people don't want to tell their idea over the internet. And in her case, she doesn't even want to tell her idea to me, like privately, because I don't know, she thinks that people are going to steal her idea. So a lot of people are like that. So if you're in that boat, just go online and find yourself an NDA, which is a non-disclosure agreement, and I'll send it over. I'll sign it, and you sign it, and then you have legal backing, and we can talk about your idea. So if you're afraid to do that, then do that. Joanna's a caller. See, only like 3 people I know actually call me. Like, it's incredible. I think if you are a caller, you can do very good in business because you'll actually call people. Whereas most people are like, oh, I'll email them. It's very passive. Calling. The lost art of calling. Okay, so again, any ideas, send them to me. Get in touch with me. Thanks for joining the stream tonight. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. And let's put some music on the way out, yo. Night, y'all.